So the market is already open for oil. As you see, we are down close to 1%. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. So market opens in 8.5 hours. So a lot could change by this point in time. However, so this day doesn't count. This is Monday. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So last week we were discussing we wanted to hold, had to really kind of get above the 70 line, right? The 70 was our big line in the sand. That's like right around here, the teal line. And since that point in time, oil has basically went on a massive little bounce, and we found ourselves up to 73.14, which is a nice little move since we're looking for just 70. However, yeah, now we're down to 71.16, which is still good because we're above the 70 mark, which was the line in the sand that we were, trying to get above was 70, and we are now above it. So we see our teal line right here, had a few times above, but then this last week we broke it, and now we are at this line. So if we can hold this line right here, basically the 71, then our next target would be to try to take out over here, which would be the 74 area. Now let's get into one, two, three. What? Oh, what happened? All right. I don't know. Something happened over here. It's all right. Let's go into it. We got total TTE. Oh, I see what's going on. It's all right. All right. So remember, the market has had 2 weeks of straight down. So that could affect our oil stocks just a little bit. I'm not quite sure. I haven't looked. TTE, we're looking, pretty decent, relatively strong. We had broke above our 50% mark, which was over here. What's going on, man? The 45.14 area. That was on Thursday. Wednesday, basically Tuesday, we started above it and then crashed below it. But the day that we could have kept kind of rolling down, we reached a low and then kind of ended on a high or off the lows. I'd be concerned about the little gap down to 43. So I guess that could be this upcoming on Monday, since the oil market's down about $1 or about 1%. And then once we find some more footing, I don't see any problem with TTE. This looks like we're finally could break this downward trend with a little bit of higher lows. You see it, 1, 2, 3, a little bit higher lows. Basically on targets to 788, 786. Then now we're at the 681. If we can break that 54 or 45.14, then we might need to draw this line in a different way and start looking at it as going higher and try to take out that 50. CVX, again, we are still in our downward trend. Based our 100% of the downward trend would be at the 719 low. We have yet to, no, this is our upward trend, right? This 786. No, that's still lower. So we're at our lower of 786. So if we can break that to the upside and get above our 100 mark, which we broke below August 18th and been below since. If we can get above this 98.34 and really above the 114, then our momentum will have shifted to the more bullish side opposed to the bearish side, which we've been on since dropping below, which has been August 17th. So about a month we've been below. This upcoming week we might find ourselves down more to this 94.27 if the market continues to slide. But if we can find ourselves some footing right here, then that would be a buyer trying to take, going back up above the 98.34. All right, Royal Dutch Shell. This is relatively stronger. I like it better than Chevron. We're above our 50% from here to here. Well, on the negative side, we're above the 50%. On the longer trend, we're above the 786, which is the 39.92. I would say if we can hold this 39.92, which is the 786 of the longer trend, where are we? Right here. If we can stay above this line right here, and then slowly but surely start taking out the 40.48, then I would see next target would be the 41.93. However, if the market continues to fall over and fall out of bed, then target would be the 38.85. E, we're above the 50. All right, so above the 50, we're in bullish. We just hit the, what was this, the yearly high? Yeah, the yearly high. I'm kind of surprised, but we're slowly but surely creeping higher. This last week, I would say as long as we stay above the 24.84, we're in bullish territory. Really just kind of follow our lines up. We maybe might have drew our line off a little bit. That's why we were off by 20 or what, 19 cents. So just kind of keep that in mind. We might be off 19 cents and look where we are. If we might come down to the 25.34, get ourselves some decent footing, and then go higher from there with a target of 26.95. Sunoco, kind of disappointing. However, it is in a squeeze, in a very tight range. Been basically in the range since we broke below the 50 August 6th. And I mean, yeah, we went from 37.52 to 36, but then our range got even tighter from 36 to 37. Again, oil is having a nasty morning so far this morning, but I'm not sure how it'll be for the whole week. I do see, as long as we stay above this teal line, then I am still a buyer of Sunoco. KMI is looking absolutely horrendous. We are following our trend lines. I mean, we broke this initial short-term trend line, or very aggressive trend line. And where did we go? Exactly to our less aggressive trend line, and then got rejected. If we do not hold this 50%, which at this moment we are below by what, 7 cents. If we cannot hold that, then the momentum have shifted and we are now in a bearish trend. Volume picked up a little bit on Friday, or this last couple of days. So just keep that in mind. We could, I mean, the trend is still down. So the trend is your friend until it's not. So until we can get above these two trend lines, because what it's looking like right now is that we beat this first trend line, and now we're on the top half of riding it down instead of the bottom half, which is still kind of riding the trend down. So we need to buck the trend, stay above the 1603, and then just kind of make the trend lines obsolete before I'm really a buyer. We really got to keep that 1603. BP, I like the way it's feeling. It's trying to break out of that 25.79. Last time we broke above there was what, August 8th. Well, we broke a little bit on the 15th, but August 8th is when we were convincingly broke above there. I mean, we failed the next day, but we at least broke above the 50%. Anything above this teal line, again, I'm a buyer. It looks like we're getting like tighter up at the top, less sellers. So I'm seeing as well oil's in the dumps this morning, but if oil can recatch itself, then I see that we finally break above this 25.79. Valero, yeah, it had some promising days last week, but if you look where we kind of got shut down is at our teal line. So as long as we are below our teal line, I'm still in the negative territory. Now we're making higher lows, could be a head and shoulders break out above, but we're also following a trend kind of to the downside right here. So it's kind of a matchup between who wants it more, the bears or the bulls. I would say if oil kind of loses its 70 point, then look for this to kind of go down maybe to 61 or to make a new low. But if oil holds firm and then oil tries to test its highs of about 76, then I see Valero getting above our teal line finally. MMP. It's not a beautiful chart. Don't get me wrong. It's not beautiful. But we did hit target here, right, for this extension. We came all the way down. I tried to break it, found our support for a larger term extension. And I mean, it's choppy, it's ugly. It's not really truly defined, but if we go over the weekly chart, I bet you it's still kind of undefined. But at least the weekly chart makes it look a little sexier. If you see what I'm saying, it's cleared and cleans it up just a little bit. Yeah, out of all of them so far, I like this one the best. At least trying to take out or retake the 50 over the next couple of weeks.